this review is for the Glock 17, the OG Glock. My particular review is of the Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS. You can pick it up in many different colors, but for me, as always, it's black. It is a standard size Glock with a barrel just under 4.5 inches. The slide itself comes in at 1 inch wide with an overall width of 1.34 inches. The slide is just over 7.25 inches, and with the standard mag, the height is just under the 5.5 inch mark. I swore off Glocks for a very long time. They were too mainstream, too normal. I didn't want to be part of that. So how did I end up with this one? What if I was to have a SHTF pistol? What would that be? Well, what pistols do most or all of the police departments use? Glocks. What's the most popular pistol out there? Glocks. If SHTF, what gun could I find parts for? Glocks. Find mags or holsters in an SHTF scenario? Glocks. So Glock it was. After lots of analysis, I decided on the G17. Two main reasons: standard size and the caliber. In looking at holsters, you can find a G17 holster in any configuration you want. So I set out looking for one. I went up the street to my local gun store, and there was a Gen 5 MOS sitting next to a Gen 4 non-MOS. Both were within my price range. Both were black, but the Gen 5 was at least $100 cheaper. A Gen 5 MOS? I had an idea. A Gucci Glock. I would trick it out and spruce it up with only name brand parts. So with these two ideas, SHTF and Gucci Glock in mind, I bought it and started to plot the Guccification of it. I picked up a Vortex Venom with a 3 MOA dot. I acquired a Surefire TRL-1 HL and headed to the local range to sight it in. Oh, and I almost forgot, the 33 round ETS mags. Who doesn't want a 33 round magazine? So I was sighting it in and having a heck of a time doing it. Every time I tweaked the aim, it would not hold. I got it close enough and headed home. Figured it was me and not the equipment. A couple months later, I took a defensive pistol class with the G17 and the Venom, but quickly realized that it was not zeroed, and I turned it off for the rest of the class. I decided to send the Venom in for warranty work, and at that point, I had the Masada and the Holosun, so I bought another Holosun and put it on top of the G17. For this particular review, I used a P80 mag, a Glock mag, the P mags, and the ETS mags. The ETS was the only one that didn't hold 17 rounds. For ammo, I used the Federal Centec Training 124 grain, the Federal 115 grain ball, Winchester 147 grain ball ammo, IMI Black Dot 125 grain jacketed hollow point. Everything shot just fine. Like the Masada, I have put to close to 1,000 rounds through this particular gun. Unlike the Masada, however, I have had failure to feeds and failure to ejects in this particular gun. Most of it seemed to be the ammo and rather than a gun issue itself. This particular Glock seems to not like the 115 grain rounds, but likes the 124 grain and 147 grain ammo more. The 124 seemed to be the sweet spot for accuracy though. I'm not a huge fan of the grip texture. For me, it's too aggressive, and long bouts at the range will start to hurt my hand. Maybe I just need to build up calluses. Like the Masada, it does come with different back straps, but I have yet to change mine from what it came with from the factory. Recoil is what you would expect from a full-size polymer gun. I would call it normal recoil. Also, I really don't care for the original size of the slide lock. I find it just a bit too small to effectively use for teardown. I ended up buying an extended one, so it was easier to do the teardown for gun cleanings. The G17 is a very customizable gun. As I have mentioned, I've upgraded the takedown lever, or the slide lock, and added a sight and flashlight. I have also upgraded the iron sights to the Trijicon suppressor height sights so that they would co-witness with the red dot. I eventually plan on replacing the trigger and the barrel. If I really wanted to use it as a defensive carry, I would probably strip off all the aftermarket parts and run it naked, or maybe with just the flashlight and the extended slide lock. As to a SHTF gun, it would be first on my list.